Hello everybody and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Repentance. My name is Eric, also known as the Scuffed Gamer, and I want to welcome everyone back to the Binding of Isaac Repentance. Last time we played Tainted Isaac and we started with Godhead, which sort of defeated the purpose of the video, which was to prove that with a little bit of creative control, anybody can turn the 8 item restriction into just the 8 best items in your run, which is winnable. And so we're going to play again. For those of you that not familiar with Tainted Isaac or Tainted character mechanics, Tainted Isaac can only ever have 8 passive items at any given moment, but item pedestals will rotate between one of 2 items in the current pool. And so we got Curse of the Darkness here alongside the Cellar, which is not one of my favorite floors, as I believe I've said before previously. The Cellar is just a bunch of spider enemies with some creepy crawlies, little doo-doo heads. And so we'll be able to show you right now what I mean when I say rotating item pedestal. So you get 1 of 2, and actually I forgot to mention it does not include your active item slots. So you get 8 passives and an active. We could take the Sprinkler, but I think Metal Plate is good. It has a chance of negating damage. It would be ideal right now if we were to fight Senbi? No, it's Pride. If we were to fight Pride and get Shoop de Whoop. The Shoop de Whoop is fantastic. Looks like it's going to be Box of Spiders. Anarchist Cookbook is okay, but I'm a dirtily kind of a player, so I will accidentally end up bombing myself with it. I know for a fact. I wish I could say I'm confident and I'm gonna not hurt myself with the bombs, but we all know that that's not gonna happen. The reason why I'm not taking Metal Plate right away, what a professional gamer. The reason that I'm not taking Metal Plate right now is because I believe it gives a half soul heart, and we're going to need that to protect our Devil Deal on the 2nd floor. And in keeping with the previous game philosophy that I had, I remember I said that I think Angel Deals are good with Tainted Isaac, and Birthright or Keeper's Sack. And this is one of those rare occasions where we really, really, really want Birthright. We really want Birthright. Birthright is going to add 4 more item slots to increase our max items up to 10. 12? Did I miscount? I may have miscounted. I can count them right now, but I mean, now I already look like a fool. I believe it's 12. Yeah, it's 12. Look at this giant chest. What's the worst that could happen? It just takes all our keys. Yep. Well, that's what we get, right? That's what we get for trusting it. I am gonna go to the cursed room. There's a chance that there's a chest in there with a teleport to the deal. Even if it's the devil deal, we'll run with it. Even though I think the angel deal is better. C'est la vie, and it's cool. Yeah, good, neat. Obviously, it would have been ideal not to lose all of our keys there because we wanted our keys. But hey, you know, live fast and die hard, they say. If you're not playing the game to have fun, then why are you playing at all? A lot of people, I believe, know by now that you can spare Baby Plum and they'll drop the Plum Flute, but I think we're perfectly content with Box of Spiders. Box of Spiders dealt like 30% of Baby Plum's HP just now. That's cute. It's funny, usually I have a pretty good fighting record against Baby Plum, but it is what it is. We'll take the damage upgrade. We say goodbye to this kind of sad chest. Yeah, we didn't get enough keys. I would have bet a lot of money that 4 keys would have been enough, but It is what it is, folks. It is what it is. The good news is that even if we don't get a key on the next floor, there's always the chance for planetarium, and I'll explain what that is shortly. Got a library here. Actually, what I want to do is I want to debate this this bomb spider into this area over here. Yes. Basically ensure that we get one key, at least. We can use it to go into the library. Fantastic. Really fantastic, actually. We do want the Book of Cool People. This one in the middle, I can't remember the name of it. Book of Virtues. So we will take the Book of Virtues. The Bible. The Book of Rev. And we will stay with the Book of Rev. The reason why we wanted the Book of Virtues so badly is because the Book of Virtues actually is going to give us a wisp every time we use an active item. And it doesn't really care what active item it is, but they have different synergies based on, right? Actually, I will use it just to show you. So we got a wisp, right? And the wisp will block shots. I don't believe that the Book of Revelation's wisp shoots bullets or shoots tears, but usually they do, but this one's purely for protection. And we'll get this key. But anyway, a planetarium, if you've ever played a run where you've gotten 3 or more of the Zodiac or Astral Signs, or even the Magic 8 Ball in a run before, it will unlock this secret room called the Planetarium, which has its own subsection of items that are very unique and interesting. And you can increase the chances of getting one by skipping item room without walking into them at all. You know, not stars carding into them, anything of that nature. Some of them are extremely good. Some of them are kind of medium. And it does behoove the player to try to go for planetariums if, like in one of our last videos, you were trying to go for the beast kill. Don't think we want the Book of Sin. Although the Book of Sin could... Yeah, the Book of Sin does shoot bullets. I think I'm going to stay with the Book of Sin and play a little bit more spicy than usual. Reason being, the Book of Sin can generate us also consumables, which we are sorely lacking in right now. We're just going to have to play well. We're going to have to try not to take damage and hope that the Book of Sin hooks us up with black hearts and so on. Obviously, we would really like, always, as I constantly on the lookout for things like Rock Bottom and Death Certificate. Death Certificate obviously being just the most powerful item in the game, and I really don't care what anybody says. It's a tutor. It's a tutor for anything. It's whatever your best item is. You know, how could that not by default be the best? Okay. How could that not by default be the best item? You know. In one of our previous videos, we started discussing, you know, well, what's the best item you could hope for in a game of in a run? You know, what would be the item where you'd be like, oh man, if I could look for that Death Certificate, what would it be? And I've heard in other discussions boards, subreddits, that Binge Eater is one of the best items you can look for. And I suppose to a certain degree, I would have to agree with that, right? Because Binge Eater gives you stats. This is the Star of Bethlehem versus Salvation, and I think the Star of Bethlehem is just one of the most phenomenal items that you can look for. Speaking of hard carry items, the Star of Bethlehem, I can demonstrate to you what it does in just a moment. As soon as we're done fighting this chicken nugget. Normally I would be following the advice that I've given to some of the players who have watched my videos before about fighting Uriel, which is to be above him, but these purple fires can be some nasty customers. Does this give you a tears up? Sure doesn't, but we'll take it. We'll take Wiggle Worm. Give us a little wiggle room. I'm gonna go back and try to get this key. Oh, we can actually. We can actually. The Book of Sin Wisp faded in that last fight. Anyway. The Star of Bethlehem does several things. It increases our stats, as you can see on the left-hand side over there. It increases our tears dramatically, our damage significantly, and it always goes directly to where the boss is. Now, if I have to explain why that's powerful, then that's a crying shame. That's very funny, game. Right on. Should we take this pill? Ow! We shouldn't have taken it. I'm not quite as anti-pill as some players are, I've noticed. I did not know that the Book of Revelations Dealy spawned also wisps like that. That can break out. I need the keys. I need the keys. Can break out wisps that turn into followers. That's kind of cool. Well, we're gonna try not to get hit here. But Bumbo is not what we wanted to see. Falling rocks tend to feel very random. Thank goodness for that. Good riddance. We could use the range, but we'll take the HP. Anyway, we never did find our item room, and we are still in serious need of a tears upgrade. We could still dirtle this run right into the floor, even with the Book of Virtues, which, incidentally, I failed to mention, does also increase our angel deal chance, which is why we did not get a devil deal on that first floor. Instead, we were rewarded with an angel deal that gave us the Star of Bethlehem. I would like to be able to afford even more options in the shop. I think we will be able to. These rooms can be deceptively difficult. Let's just go and clear out the rest of the floor before we decide to bomb our donation machine. Although our donation machine has a lot of money in it, you know. Because these files are pretty much finished up. We just can't get the cracked crown achievement because Binding of Isaac hates us. Take the scapular. Scapular will give us a soul heart if we're ever knocked to 1 HP. Now, ironically, I set out to say that to prove that the 8 item restriction is not that serious, and then it almost immediately removed that restriction again. by buying Birthright, but I don't think you could really blame me for making those plays or fault me, because I mean Birthright is just the right thing to go for in this situation. You know, I don't think anyone would disagree if they were playing this character and they said, I can't believe that you didn't want to make your life more difficult by choosing not to forego the restriction in any way that you can by giving yourself. And it's still only 12 items. You know, we've already almost seen a lot of these items, you know, fill up our spaces, but we have wiggle room. We have wiggle room for show. In addition, in one of our last runs, I mentioned that. Wow, thanks, donation machine. You little shit. I mentioned that the HP upgrades stay static, so we already can, you know, cut Midnight Snack. That's not Midnight Snack, is it? It's Crackjacks. Crackjacks and Supper if we need the extra room. And we will, if we need the extra room. Welcome to Catacombs 2. 48% chance Angel deal, which is really fantastic. This guy's gotta go, this guy's gotta go. So I hope everyone's enjoying their fantastic Halloween. If you, in fact, do celebrate Halloween, All Hallows Eve, Dia de los Muertos, or any of the other dress-up occasions. I know, I personally am always looking for excuses to do more dressing up. I enjoyed the holiday quite a bit. Always a good excuse to hang out with friends and sort of be silly and, like I said, dress up and have a good evening, as long as you're safe about it. Wow. Let's take a pill. And that is... Now, as tempting as that may be, we cannot actually take the Inverted Stars card because it would get rid of Birthright. And we want Birthright. We sure do. We sure do. Right then. It's a good way to lose a soul heart. It's a great way to lose a soul heart, actually. So now we have to hope that we find one in the shop, or that one of these homies drops enough money for us to buy one in the shop, which... fat chance, right? Well, blankets in the shop. Certainly can't afford it. Here I go again on my own. Getting bodied. Pill? Alright. Some of the best pills you've ever seen! We haven't been tremendously hooked up by our items so far, in our item rooms. The only reason we're doing so well right now is because Star of Bethlehem is broken. And we got it on floor 1. It's gonna be the Wretched. I think we do want Squeezy. Unfortunately, as much as it hurts to pass up Synth Oil, which is a damage up, we need the Tears rate. Our Tears rate was really suffering, and still is not great. Gotta be really careful. And perhaps more importantly, the fact that Squeezy drops 2 soul hearts, and we knew that. Looking for the item room. Please stop that. I don't know what's doing that, but you need to stop. Akaldama. I think we want Dry Baby. I have been accused of playing very defensively. And that's fair. That's fair. I play a very defensive game in most of the games that I play. And I don't have a problem with that, you know. Ooh. We will take Counterfeit Penny. It's gonna almost, it's gonna make it so that every now and then when we pick up a penny, right, we are going to also get an extra cent. Stop! Stop dropping random bombs. Stop. There's no doubt in my mind that one of our wisps is doing that. And I'm not sure which one it is. This is just a free cent then. We'll take it. We could try to find the secret room, but do we really want to? Could be here. No. What a strange floor. This is not an XL floor, but if I didn't tell you that, you would never believe it. We're not going to buy the soul heart. We're not going to buy the soul heart. We're going to continue to just play well. All right. How can you not? Yeah, that's definitely one of our wisps. Which is not good because it's intense situations that kind of stuff can really come back to bite you. You know, we can't control what all of our wisps are doing all the time. I'm tired of this room. Tired of it. Now one of our wisps is dropping bombs close to us all the time, making it very difficult to predict. It's this blue one right here. I think I'm gonna get rid of it. Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of it. There we go. I think this is where the door is. Ooh, that was close. Really sad that we didn't get another angel deal until, what is this, Depths 1? You know, we missed a 21%, then we missed essentially a 45%. So that's cool. Our damage could obviously still use some work. Get some luck. Ugh. I should have just followed the Star of Bethlehem, and I know that. Because the things like this can happen where like I said before, our stats are not that good without Star of Bethlehem. Like, at all. No, they're not the worst I've ever had, but they're not the best at all. By this time, I like to have probably 6-ish damage, if not 7. And I know beggars can't be choosers, but we also cut our range, so we're having to actually chase down these enemies closely. And that's just not a good time. Our damage is being supplemented by the wisps that we're creating with the Book of Virtue. The map, a half-price map. I'm gonna buy Pandora's box. We're gonna crack it. I'm gonna buy the map. We're gonna go back. We're gonna try to get our item from the item room. I'm gonna cycle off of Star of Bethlehem because that would be such a tragic accident if we happened to accidentally replace it instead of one of our vestigial HP upgrades. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Oh, good. The best room you've ever seen. Thank you. You earn a prize, Dry Baby. Other people think you're bad. I think you're great. I think you do the ooh, that is an all stats up. We will take it. It's not a great all stats up, but it's just an all stats up. We take those. Now that we have the treasure map, we can generally have an idea of what the layout of every floor looks like. We'll be able to plan accordingly. But it is one of the items that we would consider sacking into the late game if we found something better, say from an angel room or even the chest. And I can't remember if the chest item pedestals rotate as well, although I'm pretty sure they do. Meh, 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 meh. That's fine. I like how we didn't get hit in that one Globin room, but we got hit in this room. Ooh. I will take Ice Cube. I think Ice Cube is really strong because it has the potential to freeze enemies. There's the tick. We do not need the tower. We do not need the tower. It's gonna be the cage. Oh! Excuse me. Don't you just love when bosses just run right at you over and over again? And there's just not a whole lot you can do about it. I love that. Alright, so the next item we'll replace is going to be Crackjacks. Since we don't need Crackjacks and we need the range, it's going to be Guardian Angel or Seraphim. And we are going to take Seraphim. And in fact, we will take Seraphim over Scabular. Actually, Crackjacks is fine. Now, with that being said, we don't really care if we lose Seraphim either. Seraphim's not the best angel item we could have found. And obviously, if we run into another good angel item like Revelation or even Salvation. Remember, we passed up Salvation, so we won't see Salvation again. But it was a strong-ish item. Key pieces, also notice, do not take up item slots. And we will head on down. Curse the Maze, so it doesn't really matter what the map looks like. Shouldn't say that. It matters a little bit. Way to go, Ice Cube. Freezing the champion? Yep, yep, yep. Right on. I think I'm going to take Mark of the Vampire and we're going to replace more options because this is our last item room. And so there's really no point in us having it anymore. Sad as it is to say, it is true. And in fact, we'll just go in here and we'll avoid this. Speed and range. It's getting to the point where we don't need range anymore either. Just trying to check the map game. Oh, very rude. Very rude of you. Ow. Oh, that's an enemy. Oh, it's an invisible champion. Very cool. Alright, then watch about the video, and it's just a regular enemy that I just didn't see. Come back for that if we have to. We could just strand that enemy in place. Maybe some of them will come out one at a time. We're fine with that. The reason that I'm willing to get rid of Scapular, mind you, is because I think Scapular is just not that worth it most of the time. Because think about it, if you need Scapular to proc, it's because you're at 1 HP. We don't need that. You know, if you need Scapular to proc, it's because you're losing. I should try to keep this Boneheart in front. We're gonna go into our last shop right now. It's probably not gonna have anything good in it. If I were the secret room, where would I be? Super Greed! Dry Baby's gonna do some work for us. This means that our shop is going to be good. Thank you, Curse of the Maze. That's very cute. Thank you, Curse of the Maze. That's very cute. I realize what's happening. Ice Cube is making it like it's graying out the enemies, so I'm not able to see them. So I might have to consider cutting you from the team, Ice Cube. You're gonna get benched. I can appreciate what you're trying to do, but just understand that you're not doing the most bang up job. Let's play this Judgment. Sir? Sir. Yeah, very good.
Down.
We needed that. Huh. You know, I do like the potato peeler. 2, 3, 4. The potato peeler is going to give us damage up, and is going to give us this meat boy gent. Yeah, I mean, very interesting choice of movement there for those. And so most of the time the potato peeler is going to just be really good. You can make this meat boy. He fights independently of you. Kind of damage where you just set it and forget it. It usually doesn't get in the way either, which is even better. Even better. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? We do things dangerously here. We'll take the negative. And we will replace the Scapular with this rock here. It's going to give us a damage upgrade. And the next one on the chopping block is going to be probably Seraphim. Although we could take Metal Plate out now. It doesn't proc that often. The ladder. ladder could hook us up. Because now we might be able to just start replacing our kind of medium items with actually really strong angel items like Revelation. Or, you know, the wafer. But what would we get rid of? Sorry, bud. Alright. Up. So you're telling me this is not where our buddy went. You're telling me this is the wrong way. Oh! Star Bethlehem bailed out of there. Danged man. Star of Bethlehem is a hard carry item this late into the game, because there's no reason not to follow it. The next item on the block is going to be safety pin. We don't need safety pin. You may notice also that the potato peeler made these other followers that follow everything around. I don't think they're destructible either, which is really interesting. A nice tears up from Binky. Shame we won't be able to afford Godhead, so we'll just go down. I think Ice Cube is better. Whoa! Nice. What do we want to get rid of next? Dry Baby, I suppose, because he's kind of becoming vestigial. Sorry, bud. The fact of the matter is that the Super Meat Boy is dealing more damage, and our shots are being blocked by our wisps. We don't necessarily need Dry Baby to block the shots for us. Or Spill. Nope. Not on your life. Absolutely not. Knockout Drops is going to every now and then send out that fist shot that's going to punch the enemies that we're fighting. And if they hit the wall, it will also, right, take damage from the contact. Yeah, we're looking very strong now. And no small part due to our tears rate increases. Get out of here. Yeet. What's this? Empress?
The Hanged Man.
67% chance for deal with the angel. We've already seen Godhead, so the only other really serious items that we can look for will be Revelation. We have the wafer, and we would also be looking for Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart, a contender for one of the most powerful items in the game. We would readily replace one of our damage upgrades with it, if not just the map, because frankly, the map's not providing anything to us because Star of Bethlehem just leads us to the room. And I know some people might say, well then why did you buy the map? Well, I don't know. I don't remember. It is an angel deal. Angel deal containing Blood of the Martyr. Raw damage or knockout drops? I say raw damage. Alright, gonna head on down. Welcome to Shoal. I'm gonna make this decision quickly. The map was already revealed to us, so the game is not going to take our mapping away at this point. I'm assuming we're going right and then... Oh, this must be the secret room. Well, we might have the chance to buy a half-price something then. Oh, that's right, we have to actually bomb our way through this, can't just walk through. Yeah. Pascal's Candle is going to reward us with a Tears upgrade every single time that we clear a room without getting hit, up to a maximum of 5 times. Excuse me, sir. You're gonna have to go too. And so our Tears rate is looking absolutely ridiculous, really, by a lot. That was probably like 3 seconds that we were fighting Mega Fatty. And there you have it, folks. Now we're gonna go fight Satan. That's all she wrote. Do we go fight Delirium with this? Would that prove our point? I mean, man, how powerful do we feel? Jeez. Let's do it. Half price Soul Heart. We'll take it. Come on, bud. Thank you. It has been a long time since we fought Delirium with what I would consider to be a much more fair build. But one thing to keep in mind is that Star of Bethlehem is one of the few items that can make up for the BS that Delirium has the tendency to employ against our players. Why do I say that? Well, because as much as Delirium has this cheap damage potential, it can only more or less spawn as bosses that you've already faced. So like it can be, for example, it could be Satan, it could be the Cage, it can be Baby Plum, it can be Skullx. But all of this teleporting and changing into all these other forms is going to be offset by the fact that Star of Bethlehem gives us homing. And there's even a chance that Ice Cube is going to be able to freeze him. No. I thought this room was cleared already. And vastly improving our potential to win is the fact that we have the wafer. And I can say with confidence that I've almost never lost a fight against any boss when I've had the wafer. Now the wafer is going to half all the damage that we receive. Now we could try to go find another boss, since we know that this bottom right door is in fact Delirium. We could try to find another HP. You know, there's no point in not playing optimally still. The Void has other bosses that we can fight, and they will drop boss room items. This is a Wendy's! course, as it turns out, it's going to be hard to find them, right? And I'm going to be wishing I just went right into the delirium. Boss fight. They're usually all over the place. These boss rooms are usually all over the place. But apparently with my luck it's going to be like, oh, you didn't find it until 1,000 years later. We're finding rooms like this, like double Black Widow, Teratoma. Come on. Come on. Just looking for one boss room. One boss in it. Okay. The Odyssey continues, I guess. It's really wild that in this whole part we haven't found one boss room. It's almost like the game knows that we're trying to farm for items. Gotta get rid of these portals. Can't have them spawn. Very cool. Yeah, this is wild. I have to tell you guys, we've cleared like 15 rooms without finding a boss door. The game knows. The game's gonna punish me for my greed. Oh, it's gonna curse the maze us all the time. I just remembered. It's curse the maze, isn't it? Wouldn't that be wild if because it's curse of the maze, we couldn't find a boss door other than delirium, and I'm wasting my time? That would be so wild if it was true. We literally haven't found another boss door. It's crazy. Not one. Man. What is happening right now? All right. All right then. All right, game. That is so weird. I'm being perfectly straight with you guys. I have never seen this before. I'm beginning to feel like the Curse of the Maze really did a number on this floor. I have not found a single. There's supposed to be like 6 bosses in the floor, or on the floor, rather. Instead, we're getting absolutely bamboozled. I don't really think that we need that. Yeah, see, there's one. That is so weird. Okay then. Dude, that's a hard game? What, are all the boss doors next to each other on this floor? Take old bandage. Alright, well. I think we've had quite enough. I don't understand this floor at all. This is quite enough. We'll move on. We've had enough fun. So for those of you that don't know, Delirium is going to change into whatever bosses we've fought before. A lot of HP, a lot of extra armor, and it's going to increase in movement speed. Is going to also adopt the phases of the bosses that we're fighting. For example, if we're fighting Teratoma right now, then it is going to be in its first phase at first. That's going to increase in speed over time, as you can see. It's because of things like this that this boss tends to get a pretty bad rap, because sometimes he just morphs into a boss and runs right at you, and there's just nothing you can do about it. But we have a lot of effects to us that are doing damage consistently without us having to control it, like our meat. I mean, you could see it for yourself. It's some of the damage you can see is pretty BS. Not to mention, wherever this enemy is standing, it makes this bullet pattern. Also, something is hitting us, and I'm not quite sure what it is. It could be just the bullet pattern. Some have even said that they've witnessed Delirium healing whenever he takes the form of a lamb, because the lamb's body has its own separate HP, and it's spawning bodies that are contributing to its HP. Alright. And there's no doubt that without the wafer that would have been, we probably would have died. We started that floor with probably what, 11 of our 12 max HP, and we lost all the way down to 5.5, which means we took however many hits that is. Can't even do the math right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hits. Yeah, so we would have died exactly without the wafer. I'm just curious to see like where the rest of these doors were. I really want to know. I really want to know where these doors were, because I've never seen the void like this. So if we get rid of Book of Virtues, is it straight up just gone? Yes. Okay. So that's good to know. So you can get rid of Book of Virtues with Tainted Isaac. I just really want to know, guys. This is such a strange void. Like, unless this void really is just that big, but you know, what in the world?
The High Priestess.
Yeah, okay.
Empress.
Maybe it is. No, I guess I underestimated how big the void was. It's been a while since I've seen the void, since I've been a part of this boss floor, but golly. There's another one. Yeah, restock. Yeah, but by the end of this run, we were exceptionally powerful. You know, the wafer makes us double our HP. So out of our 12 total HP pool, we end up walking away with a really handsome amount of HP. Something like 24 hits worth of HP, and we had a bone heart as well. So we were in a good position before we had the wafer, and we did have the wafer. So we were in even better shape. I would go as far as to say twice as good shape. And with all of our defensive upgrades and the wisps, we were never really in any significant danger. I mean, obviously, that boss fight is BS, and no one's going to be able to refute that. It really is. But I mean, just look at the way that we mowed through the rest of these bosses. If we didn't get Birthright and we didn't get the stairway, there's absolutely no way that we would be fighting Delirium. Absolutely no way. There would be absolutely no reason for us to fight Delirium with 8 items instead of 12. If I was going to fight Delirium with 8 items instead of 12, which route would I take? Yeah, so this is where all the boss doors were, on the upper left, all 4 of them. There were only 2 on the bottom right. Let's see, if I was going to fight Delirium with 8 of our 12 items, as they stand right now, I would definitely take Star of Bethlehem and the wafer. I would not take Pascal's Candle because I would anticipate that we'd get hit. I would probably have taken Small Rock, Binky, 2020, Mark of the Vampire, Blood of the Martyr, and probably Old Bandage, because it drops all these red hearts and we would be at like 5 or 6 red hearts by the time this fight happened, and we could sort of use it as an HP pool, and we could take another 3-5 hits in this room alone from that fight. We might win that way. We might have been okay. Especially if we decided to take Keeper Sack instead, then we would have some really ridiculous stats by the end of this run. Because Keeper Sack would have been on the first floor, our very first item. So, I hope I've made the case that this is very, very plausible, it's very feasible, that you could do this with Tainted Isaac and get the run done with even 8 items. You could even take it to Delirium. So, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Cheers, and I'll see you guys in the next one.